impressive!
So the Spider-Man No Way Home teaser trailer has officially been released after being leaked the other day. And I gotta tell you, I dig it.
Nice.
It's been a while since I can say I'm looking forward to an MCU movie. I'm interested in seeing Shang-Chi, but this is fucking Spider-Man, and apparently we're gonna get 3 Spider-Men in one movie. So you know your boy is excited. So for months now, fans have had a vague idea of what the movie was gonna be about. We knew that Doctor Strange was involved, and that something would happen that would cause the multiverse to break, bringing over Spider-Man villains from the previous movies, or in this case, universes, as well as those universes' Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. So it's revealed in the trailer that Peter goes to Strange to see if he can cast a spell that will make people forget that he's Spider-Man. And as Strange is casting it, Peter won't stop talking and it fucks up the spell, which causes an issue with the multiverse, so now Spider-Man villains from other universes crossed over into his. That setup alone is more than enough to get me hooked. It's definitely one of the most interesting and unique setups I've seen in a comic book movie in a while, and I'm not gonna lie, there is basically nothing that I didn't like in this trailer. It all looked really good. For starters, we get to see more of the mind-bending reality effects from the Doctor Strange solo movie, so that's gonna look cool as hell. Also, we're gonna see Peter go through multiple suits it seems, but more importantly, we're gonna get multiple villains that we've seen before.
Hello, Peter. I'm gonna come.
The 3 villains that we know we're getting are Doc Ock, of course, Green Goblin, and Electro. But in the trailer there are a few glimpses that lead people to believe that there are other villains. Right here it looks like the lizard from the Amazing Spider-Man, and here where the lightning is being blocked by this giant wall of, I don't know, part of the ground, people are guessing that this is Sandman from Spider-Man 3 protecting Peter. But I'm not so sure about that one. I just assumed that it was Doctor Strange using magic, but we'll see. I'll be honest, seeing Doc Ock did make me happy because of nostalgia. The same reason why many others are happy to see him. But you know what? I don't care. Seeing him put a smile on my face. And even if it is just nostalgia bait, I'll take it. Now, I've been seeing fan theories online, and one of them was from Hot Trick Films. He says, what if it's called No Way Home because Tobey and Andrew get stuck in the MCU universe and can't return to theirs, kickstarting their own MCU movies where the plot is about them trying to return back to their respective universes. Now that would be very interesting, and it's not a bad idea, but what I personally think is that they're going to use this movie to set up a Sinister Six movie in the future, using this movie as a way to form the team, because Sony has been wanting to do the Sinister Six ever since The Amazing Spider-Man, and I imagine they're not going to keep all the villains that cross over from the multiverse, but maybe 1 or 2 of them, because remember, we still got Vulture and Scorpion in the MCU, and they had that end credit scene from Homecoming that went nowhere, so you could throw them into the mix after this movie for a Sinister Six setup. And Shocker is still alive too, so there's a chance that he could come back. And even though Mysterio is supposedly dead, many people believe that he's actually still alive and that he just fooled everyone, so there could be a chance that he shows up at the end and starts putting the team together. Now these are all just theories, of course. Nothing is really concrete, and we're not sure about all the villains we're even getting yet, but I personally believe they're going to do a Sinister Six movie at some point. Also, people believe that this is Charlie Cox's Daredevil, and I'm not so sure about that. Did he add on like 30 pounds? Apparently he will be in the movie, but I don't think this is him. I believe he might show up in this scene though, but I believe this is just a detective or cop interrogating Peter. It's actually a fan edit that someone made online, and this is exactly how I think it will go down too.
Listen, I did not kill Mysterio. The drones did.
Stop talking. Hi, this is Oak. My name is Matthew Murdoch. I'm your attorney.
I guess my only complaint is that Doctor Strange seems a little careless here. Like, he was really willing to ignore Wong's warnings and just give this spell a chance, not knowing what the consequences would be if he messed it up. Well, I guess you don't know if you don't try, right? He seems less serious than he did in Infinity War, and I was a little surprised that he's willing to do a spell that will literally affect everyone in the world at once. But you know what? I don't care. If it gives us 3 Spider-Men on screen together, then I'll allow it. That's my only real complaint, but there are a few more I've seen online, and we can talk about those briefly. The first one being that this movie might end up being overcrowded with too many characters, because it's going to have Doctor Strange, 3 Spider-Men, and at least 3 to 4 villains. And that is a lot, but luckily, all these characters are already established, so there's not going to be much setup or backstory given to them, because it was done in other movies. I see people comparing it to Spider-Man 3, but in Spider-Man 3, they hadn't introduced Sandman's origin, tell the story of the symbiote, and continue the story of Harry Osborn. So 2/3 of the villains had to be set up in that movie. A similar thing happened to The Amazing Spider-Man 2, had to tell 2 different characters' origin stories on top of the main plot. So I believe by bringing in these established characters that most people are familiar with, it won't feel overcrowded because we know who they are. Like with the Avengers movies, it's a giant cast of characters, but we know who the characters are, so it's not a big issue. Another big concern is people being afraid that this movie might be too big or ambitious and could be setting itself up for failure, because this movie is going to be bringing in a lot of characters and introducing the multiverse, so it's a lot to juggle, and some parts might not be handled well, but I'm confident that it will balance everything pretty well. But I already kind of know that some characters will be pushed to the background once the other 2 Spider-Man and villains show up, so I'm just really looking for them to do at least a decent enough job at balancing it all to make it passable. As long as it ain't something egregious, I think it'll be fine. Also, some people are a little annoyed that the big twist at the end of Far From Home, where Mysterio reveals Spider-Man Spider-Man's secret identity, doesn't seem to be the main focus. Or at least it is for a small portion, but instead the movie wants to focus on the multiverse stuff. Now I understand this annoyance, but I actually find the multiverse stuff more interesting, and I want to see what they can do with it. So I'm okay with the movie looking like it's less about Peter having to deal with people knowing he's Spider-Man, and more about the multiverse. We still see that it's a plot point in the movie, and it's what causes him to go to Doctor Strange, but it doesn't seem like it's the main point of the movie, and I'm okay with that. Clearly they have something bigger planned. And of course, as always, I asked you guys what you thought, and most of the comments were mainly positive, which is no surprise because this was a really good trailer, and also it's fucking Spider-Man. It's hard not to be excited or at least interested in a Spider-Man movie. But now I want you to go ahead and leave a comment, let me know what you think about the teaser trailer. And of course, if you enjoyed the video, go and drop a like on it. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time. Although with all this multiverse stuff, I would love to see a femboy Spider-Gwen.
2 to the 1, 1 to the 3. I like good pussy and I like good trees. Smoke.
Harry tells me you're quite the gamester. You know, I'm something of a gamer myself. I watched all your live streams on Twitch, it's really brilliant, and you understood it. Yeah, I used the gamer words of my 9th grade teacher. Impressive. Your parents must be very disappointed. Well, I live in their basement, so, yeah,